you're looking for a professional-grade sealant that offers technologically advanced performance, choose Bostik Pro Sealants.
With your latest sports headlines, I'm Matt Hutchinson. Good evening. Lando Norris says he's so proud of his McLaren team after winning his first F1 Drivers' Championship. The Englishman's third was enough to secure that title.
And Andy Goldstein. Unrivaled. Online and on your smart TV.
talkSPORT, the final word phone in.
You've got to be saying something.
Every last final word. Here comes the backlash.
First and fast for football.
Pick up the pieces of the final word phone in
On talkSPORT.
Good evening and welcome to the final word with me, Majestic, alongside former Crystal Palace manager, the gaffer, Alan Pardew is with me, as always, on a Sunday evening. Last night, every manager's worst nightmare happened as Mo Salah decided to air his views to Norwegian TV about his feelings about his current situation at the club, and he didn't hold back. Quotes like, "We don't have any relationship," when talking about Arne Slot, and it's like being thrown more under the bus. Really explosive stuff. So Liverpool fans, we want to hear from you, your views, as King Mo dropped those bombs on Norwegian TV. 03717223344. And in the Premier League, the Pards derby was a very entertaining affair with Crystal Palace picking up all 3 points at Craven Cottage against Fulham to go back into the top four. Wow, come on. Put some respect on Palace's name this evening. In the top four, won the FA Cup last season, won the Charity Shield and lost Eze, and they're in the top four. Wow. And on the South Coast, it was a point apiece between Brighton and West Ham to leave the Hammers in the bottom three. But should the Brighton goal have been chalked off? We want to hear from you on both those games. Remember, talkSPORT is now bigger than ever. We're on YouTube and your smart TV, so come watch us on our fantastic 17th floor studio. Now it's all about you, your views. It's Sunday, 03717 223344. It's Madge and Pards. It's the final word here on talkSPORT. That's why he's Madge and Pards on a Sunday evening. Because where else would you want to be? On TV or radio. You can watch us now. We are the best thing on TV on a Sunday night, Pards. It's official.
Well, yeah, I don't know. It's official on radio. It's not about on the TV. That's probably a little bit strong, isn't it?
Well, you know, like back in the day, like weekend TV was great, wasn't it?
TV is a little bit off the... bit strange now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because like Netflix, you know, everybody's like scooting around looking for different things, and you go to a movie or you go to a mini-series or you go back on something you've seen before.
You been watching the P. Diddy documentary?
No, I haven't seen that. Is that worth a watch?
Worth a watch.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're ingrained in hip-hop culture with the beef between Biggie and Tupac.
Of course, I'm well up on that. But no, you know, those mini-series that used to be massive, the Odinian Line, was that something like that? And, you know, all those sort of mini-series that used to be on Sunday nights, they're all done now.
Yeah.
Don't see any of that anymore.
Well, but so you know what, Sunday night, when you used to hear the Heartbeat theme tune as a kid, right, when I was growing up, that's when you knew, like, the weekend was over. Heartbeat, why do you miss that? With Nick Berry, do you remember?
He was a policeman, wasn't he?
He was. When I heard that...
I never watched that show.
The weekend's over.
That thing.
But you know what was good for the end of the weekend was Crystal Palace against Fulham, a game at Craven Cottage that actually delivered.
Littered with technical ability.
Yeah.
Actually.
Great game. Can we just... It's your former club, so you won't mind me doing this. Can we just have a moment for Crystal Palace and how good they are?
last 2 years. Incredible.
You know, I heard you on the previous show talking about, you know, the contract situation with Glasner.
Yeah.
Unlikely to be there next season. Should Palace go all out, back him, find some money somewhere, and say, you're our guy?
They haven't got to find some money somewhere because they're owned by, you know, one of the biggest hedge funds in the world. It's just whether they want to release the, you know, the funds to go to the next step. They're trying to improve the ground, which obviously needs massive improvement, which Steve Parish is all over trying to get it done with planning, etc., etc. I mean, where he's taken the team is astonishing, really. Since the time I was manager there, you know, the recruitment has improved significantly, and the playing staff is really top. And when you look at that middle section, Perry Groves made a good point. The Premier League's probably as strong as it's ever been in that middle period of the division, because you only got to look at the league table, right, to see that. You know, there's like, if you go down to 12th, they're on 16 points, and Palace are on 20th, or in 5th place. It's so tight. But the one thing I'd say about Crystal Palace, which people, okay, they won the FA Cup, they won the Charity Shield, but in the league programme this year, they've lost less than Chelsea, Man City, Aston Villa, and everybody else except Arsenal. They've only lost 2 games.
Yeah. They're
hard to beat, really hard to beat. And there was a special goal today. Yeah, from Harry. Harry also absolutely outstanding left foot.
Good player.
Great. I've always liked him. He's just one.
We're a fan of his on the show.
We're a big fan.
If he's on the way, I'm listening right now, Harry.
Yeah, we're having you, Harry. And you know, that goal was like, if that was in the World Cup, we had the World Cup draw for it. I had to sit through that, by the way, for talkSPORT.
Shambles.
Well, our show weren't a shambles.
No, your show was great.
No, the actual output from FIFA was, come on.
Rio, Donald.
We need to talk about
Kevin Hartwood.
We need to have words about that match.
We will be having to. Your show was good, by the way.
It was okay. Oh,
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, well, it was nice because we had me and Pierce, see? So we were throwing things about memories of the World Cup and stuff like that.
And it's always good to hear Durham on that time.
Of course, and he's like an encyclopedia, isn't he? Of like, you know, he could tell you a group game from 1978. You know, so
top broadcaster.
Yeah.
But yeah, listen, Crystal Palace. How far can they go, Pards?
Well, as I say, they lost less games than anybody else except Arsenal. What's to stop them getting into Champions League? The problem you got, and Oliver announced it this week to much criticism from the press, that he was having a dig really at Steve Parish and the board, is that he hasn't got the depth of squad. Now, when you first go into Europe that first year, I think it catches everybody out, and he was trying to say to them, because obviously he's been in Europe, in Germany, won the Europa League. That you need more personnel, you need more quality.
Well, he's bang on, because at the moment they're currently at 18th in the Europa Conference League. That's no good. They're playing people called Cups and Sigma.
Yeah, but I still expect, I've got to be honest, I still think they've got a great chance of winning it. I know it sounds a bit weird, but I think they have. And I think in January, because his contract's running out, because they won't want to lose him. I mean, there's no doubt about that. Of course they don't want to lose him as manager. They'll do everything they can to keep him, is to try and kind of appease him with a couple of signings. I think that might be something that would maybe help to keep him at the club.
Well, January could be a huge window then for Crystal Palace. It could be a club-defining window then.
Well, it's been club-defined for many clubs, because a lot of clubs who do business actually in that January window are clubs that are in Europe, because they've lost the players to suspensions and injuries, and they're really struggling with a league program, or et cetera, or they feel they can push on for a European spot even though they're in Europe. So this window, I think, will be active, and one of the key players who might be involved in that window, Semenyo. I've got a little bit on him later.
We'll talk about that. So let's go over to some Palace fans then. Lee joins us on the final word. How are we, Lee?
Hi, Matt. Pards, you okay?
Very well indeed. Is that my mate, Lee?
Yeah, it's Lee, the Cuffley chairman again, Madge.
How are we, pal? You good?
Yeah, really good, thanks, mate. I just rang in to sort of share with yourself and Pards again, like, what this Palace team, I just don't know how they keep doing it. I just echo what Pards just said there, you know. Feels like an elastic band. We're stretching, but we're still achieving, like, you know, it's amazing, really. But I don't know what they do next, you know.
Well, this is it. It's for me, Lee, it is serious stick or twist time for Crystal Palace. Because as you said, they've spent the last sort of 10 years establishing themselves as a mainstay Premier League, not going up and down as they once was. And now they've got that little moment to go, you know what? If we invest a little bit, if we listen to this manager and we back him, Palace...
The highest Palace have ever finished is 10th, right? That was under me, actually. And I think this team has definitely got that in its sights. And it should be in the top 10 with the quality they got. Yeah. The one thing I would say about them, and I think you agree with this, Lee, right, is when you watch them play, when they defend, that system looks almost impenetrable. That when you see Man United playing that system, right, it doesn't. It looks like there's gaps everywhere. There's holes, there's pockets. And that's why they're so good, because in the system that they play defensively, they are as sound as any team in the division. And I include Arsenal in that as well. And that's why they're getting the success they are.
You see that every week. Obviously, you seem to me they're quite easily worked out on paper. You know how they're going to set up, you know they're going to play, but people just can't break it down. It seems you go every home game, as you know, and they're just. It reminds me of the Spurs thing when they got to the Champions League final, when they didn't kick on from there.
Correct.
I think we're in that similar situation, where, and if we don't, which is probably Palace, typical Palace, we won't. Then we start going the other way, So, but Glasner, he's got to take the credit. We're a depleted side today. I was happy with the draw, and then to get the win and finish
it was a bonus, wasn't it? Yeah.
And again, especially with the captain doing it as well, with the sort of hardships going on at Liverpool. And I know there's other clubs that have been for Gay as well. Is there any way that they could go to him? Look, we're building here. We could build something around.
Gahey?
Yeah.
No, he's gone.
Is he definitely?
Yeah, I can't see him staying. I just think. That bridge has burned, so to speak. I just can't see him staying. But, I mean, what impressed me more about Palace today was that, there's been a lot of talk about Walton, right? This young English midfield player, what's he got in the locker? Well, some of his passing today was off the scale. I mean, really looked like a player that could threaten the England team today. Yeah, and it was a great platform for him, Lee, wasn't it, today, this game, this showpiece game?
You can't compare him to Will for Eze or Elise. No. But I've been game 30 years. I think technically he's one of the best players I've ever seen at Crystal Palace.
Yeah. He's just so competent.
You including me in that, Lee?
Andrew as well. Thanks, yes, where he got it from Pard. I think you as his hero. But, it's just, on to Thursday, the games are coming thick and fast there. That's the other thing that worries me.
That's what, that is a problem.
Bit,
Well, you've got some easier games in the Europa Conference League coming up at home as well, which would definitely do you the world of good, because we know Selhurst Park rocking. That is one place you go.
Unless are qualified to the knockouts. So that
and then all of a sudden, once you're in the knockouts, you can start prioritising a little bit as well. I just think, Lee, the big thing for you is trying to nail Glasner down, and how hard's that going to be?
Yeah, it's gonna be impossible. I think we're going to be in a situation soon where we're going to be saying, what if we still had Eze? What if we still had Elise? What if we still had Glasner? You know what I mean? We're going to be that team, Because imagine if we'd have kept those, kept Gee, kept Glasner, where could we go? But that's Palace, unfortunately. We are what we are,
How long to your own, Lee?
Probably about 45 minutes.
Well, 45 minutes of Imagine Pards for you.
That's it. Let's get all the way home. So I thought I'd better phone. I haven't phoned in for a while, so
Top man, Lee.
Catch up with you. Thank you.
Thank you, bro. That was Lee there. Crystal Palace fan goes home and away. Also, the Cuffley chairman of the local grassroots club around me.
We didn't ask him how his team was getting on.
Oh, should have.
Yeah, never mind.
Need a bit of grassroots.
Okay, get him a text in.
I know how one of their teams did.
Go
on. They won 3-2 against St Albans, because it's my best mate's team.
Oh, okay.
His son played. Next up, we will be talking about Mo Salah. So, Liverpool fans, the phone lines are now open for you. I think this is the first chance that Liverpool fans can call talkSPORT and air their views about Mo Salah. I can't believe it personally, listening to what I've heard.
Yeah, I've got some quotes here that I've penciled on that don't sound good.
They don't. What do you make of Mo's explosive words? We'd also love to hear from the Palace fans after you go back into the top four today. Call us right now. We'll hear from you next. 03 717 223344. The lines are officially open. It's Madge, it's Pards, it's Sunday night. It's the best thing on TV and radio. It's Madge and Pards.
European football program. Simply wunderbar. From the Bundesliga to the Dutch First Division. Is good, yeah. From Serie A across the Northern Plains. Trans-Euro Express. Tonight from 9 on talkSPORT.
Good evening, you're listening to the Final Word phone in here on talkSPORT with me, Majestic, alongside the former Crystal Palace manager, Fulham fan, Alan Pardew. So it's been the Alan Pardew derby today, and it's been a great affair at Craven Cottage as it finished Fulham 1, Crystal Palace 2, putting Crystal Palace into the top 4. Oliver Glasner, take a boo. Because I tell you what, he's done fantastic with that Crystal Palace team.
Scottish in
Take a boo, Shen. That's Andy
He's
Gray.
German.
Huh? Yeah, but I'm telling him to take a boo, Shen.
But you've got a good German in you as well.
Yeah,
I know you got
super is is a wonderful
super result.
It's a super result, and of course, if you want more German football, it's the Trans-Euro Express straight after the break at 9 o'clock with Danny Kelly and Andy Brassel and Kevin Hartshard as
Andy was with us on Friday.
yeah, he's encyclopedia of the Bundesliga. But anyway, away from that, we are of course talking about Crystal Palace being in the top 4. And you know what? It's nice on a Sunday not to be talking about Man U or Spurs or Arsenal.
Yeah, we're going to come on to Spurs though.
No, but
We had some good news this week about Spurs.
But I
Go on, the
really
Spurs.
want to show some respect to Crystal Palace because I think they've been brilliant, and I like to see teams like Palace do well. I think they've got a great fan base. I love Selhurst Park. Great place to go and watch football.
A lot of stuff online last couple of days about how rubbish the two games were, the choices of the two games today that Sky had gone for. And actually, it was a disservice to, the league, or et cetera, et cetera. What a load of rubbish.
Absolutely.
Those two great games. And the second game in particular, I thought was...
In the words of Sean Dyche, woke nonsense.
Yes.
It is the Final Word phone in 03717 3344. So let's now talk about the biggest story in town, Mo Salah. And before I get Par's view on it, let's hear how talkSPORT reacted to the huge news.
I have done so much for this club. Everybody can see that. Sitting in a bench, I don't know why. It seems like a club is throwing me under the bus.
And he has suggested that Liverpool's game against Brighton next weekend at Anfield could be his last for the club.
Liverpool's hierarchy of a decision to make now. Do they back Mo Salah or do they back Arne Slot?
Are we getting to the stage, and I think we clearly are, that Mo Salah now becomes a problem that you've got to remove?
It's a slightly dangerous road to go down if you're saying, right, the highest paid player at the club effectively is picking the manager.
Kind of distracts really from the main problem at Liverpool at the moment, which is, what to do about the manager.
I don't think he's out of the Liverpool team because someone's trying to forcibly remove him from the club. It's because he hasn't been performing to his best levels.
He's got no divine right to be picked for Liverpool. Sentiment entitlement is absolutely mind-blowing.
Simply not justifying a place in the side that is falling off a cliff and the pressure is absolutely piling on. They need leaders, not division. He can't be involved in the squad after that. He may well have played his last game for Liverpool.
Wow. Huge comments from Mo Salah to Norwegian TV after their side's draw against Leeds United. Now, Mo Salah's come under a lot of criticism recently, even here on this channel, from callers saying that he's just, remove him. He's not the one at the moment, and he doesn't look how he looked last year and previously. Now, he doesn't feel like he should be on the bench after the 3-3 against Leeds. He said extraordinary interview with his journalist. I think it's very clear that someone wanted me to get all the blame. I said many times before that I had a good relationship with the manager, and all of a sudden we don't have any relationship. I don't know why, but it seems to me, how I see it, that someone doesn't want me in the club. The situation is not acceptable to me, to be fair. I don't get it. It's like I'm being thrown more under the bus. I don't think I'm the problem. I've done so much for this club. Now, Salah leaves for AFCON on the 15th of December. He has scored 250 goals in 420 Liverpool appearances since 2017. Pards, wow. Let's just start off with your initial thoughts when you heard these comments.
Well, first of all, what's the crime here? Well, the crime at the moment is that the manager assumes that for the team, he's better to be on the bench. That's what the manager's done. He's made a decision that Mo Salah, for all his stats and records that he's produced for Liverpool, at the moment deserves to be on the bench.
Which
Mo
do you
Salah,
agree with? I think so.
I think so. Mo Salah's reaction to that has been to, and I know this from the training ground actually, that he's been sulking around, hasn't taken it well, been a bit of an issue behind the scenes, etc., etc. And that's compounded him not actually getting on the pitch. Because if I was the manager, I would probably go the same route. Well, I'm not going to put him on because that would be a bad example to all the other players. Now he goes in the press and he says quotes, and you just used 2 quotes, right? So I'm not going to repeat those, but I had 4 quotes that I think where discipline needs to come in. When I mean by that, I think Liverpool should discipline him for these quotes.
Financially?
Yeah. The 2 that you just said, right? And these are the other 2 that I've got. Now I'm sitting on the bench and I don't know why. It seems like the club has thrown me under the bus. That's how I'm feeling. I think it's very clear that someone wanted me to get all of the blame, right? So that word, the blame, I don't like. And then you go into this, the other quote, the 2 that you said, and then this one. Yeah, there's no relationship between us. It was a very good relationship. And now all of a sudden, there is no relationship. Well, there's no relationship, Mo, because you have caused this problem, not the manager. He's just left you out of the team. He hasn't
come out and said anything.
No, and done some sort of damage to you as a person in the media or to your family or to anything. He's just actually left you out of the team. And the spotlight is on you because you're such a big player. So he understands that. And to take you out of the team is actually opening himself up for criticism, actually.
Yeah.
And something that I've done in the past as well with players and had a similar reaction.
Well, I was going to say to you, right, your onslaught, you're sitting at home, you get a text message, you wouldn't believe.
Actually, what would happen is that your press secretary or in charge of your press team will message you immediately.
Has this happened to you?
Yeah, of course it's happened to me on many occasions. Not
Really?
about a player criticising me, but about other incidents. Like there's a player said something about the game or said something about a fellow player. But I have actually had it about me as well.
Oh, have you got an example for me you can share?
Well, Hassan Ben Arfa, after one of the games, I think there's a quote I've got here that I got off the internet. That at the time, I remember I called him into my office and we had strong words about it. And I think I disciplined him, actually. I feel sad and frustrated, but not angry. I think I can make a difference and I'd like to try. I think Pardew believes in me, but he doesn't show it. I don't know why. He needs to give me more confidence to build my best game because at the moment I don't have that. So, what the problem you have is the media agenda is always to look for a split between a player and a manager, right? And particularly a player who's out of the team. And what Mo's done is just fueled this. Mo Salah has fueled it onto another level where I don't think it leaves the club in any position other than to discipline him. And I think for Arne Slot, who's having one of those really testing seasons, isn't he? He can't seem to get a result. They're going to get it over the line. Oh, it's a draw. Oh, my God, there's another late goal. And so instead of late goals where they were winning last year, it's getting late goals now where they're losing points and losing the momentum to get up the league. And now this is really an issue that needs to be addressed because you can't have players coming out into the press and saying these kind of lines with this kind of agenda. It's just wrong.
Should Salah had gone last season and gone into the sunset, a Liverpool legend, won the league, cut the ties beautifully because, as you know, as a Spurs fan, I've seen it with Son. We got the perfect ending for Son. He won the trophy finally. He's gone to LA. He's back on Tuesday night as a legend for the Champions League, entertainment.
I just
think Salah...
No, but it's easy. It's easy to say that in hindsight about Mo Salah. Mo Salah's numbers last year, and you've won the league, were off the scale. You've got to give him a new contract. Because if you hadn't, you're asking for maybe even a bigger problem.
Yeah.
Right? So I think they had to give him the contract. And by the way, he's still an asset. You're still probably going to get a massive fee from Saudi Arabia in January or in the summer for him or any other club because he's an outstanding player. He's lost his form. He's literally fell off a cliff, his form this year. And no one could have foreseen that.
He still scored 4 goals in the Premier League.
Yeah, I mean, well, for him, let's say for him. Right, and some of his defensive work has been exposed a little bit, whereas before it wasn't really mentioned, even though he was probably doing very similar stuff defensively. But, I don't think anyone would have foreseen it. So, yes, I think they should have given him a contract. And I also think now they should discipline him and sort of bring him into line and say, look, you're a Liverpool player. We've given you this bumper new contract. You got to start to play in the game now with us. You sit on the bench, you wait your chance, and when your chance comes, you got to be able to play. So if I was a manager, I would get him in Monday morning. I'd lay down the law to him, and then I would discipline him at the same time. That's what I would do.
Has he played his last game for Liverpool?
I don't think so. No.
There is a way back.
Yeah, of course there is. But there has to be some kind of response from the club.
I'm talking about this is the same Liverpool fan base. Well, not all of them, but some of them, like booed Trent, for example, Liverpool fans, if you turn against their club, no matter how much of a legend you are.
I don't think he's turned against their club, has he? I mean, some of the other quotes are, him and his family still love the club and they enjoy it, and blah, 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 blah. He goes to the African nations. That's the problem, isn't it? What have we got?
Which is him, again, removed from the situation.
And that's why I think it needs to be addressed right now, because if you don't and let him go to the African nations, you're going to get all sorts of quotes coming from there. And what?
It's so good to be here. I'm glad I'm away.
Yeah, and not only that, Madge. What I understand, when I had African players going, Papi Cissé and people like that, we lost like half the team to the African nations. It was a massive problem when I was at Newcastle. You would get quotes coming out of there that actually weren't true even. They'd like completely, the player had said something completely different. So you're getting all sorts of reports coming back.
And now with AI.
And unfortunately for Arne Slot, he's going to get 3-4 weeks, I think, of Mo Salah quotes coming.
Is Liverpool's title chase over now? It's done. They're not in.
Well, I never. You know what I'm like. I'm not really one to sort of put anybody out the frame. They got 18 points. They're 11 points off Arsenal. You can't see that. I can't see Arsenal losing another 4 games, which means Liverpool got to go all the way, win every game.
Losing,
yeah.
Liverpool manager Arne Slot has the full backing of the board over Mo Salah's incredible outburst. This is from Crookie, by the way. From Alex Crook, talkSPORT understands. There is a major doubt that Salah will travel with the rest of his teammates for Tuesday's Champions League clash at Inter Milan or play in next week's Premier League game at home to Brighton. The board believes Slot should be given the freedom when it comes to tactical decisions, and that players should react to those decisions in a professional manner.
That's another move that I always thought clubs should do. Technical directors, they kind of hide behind transfers and everything else. This is where a technical director could really make a very interesting kind of stance where he disciplines Mo Salah, like being disrespectful to the manager. And you take it away from the manager, so the manager and the player can have a relationship going forward. The technical director's dumped the week's money, and you're not travelling to the Champions League, and you're not going to be involved in the Premier League, right?
I've told Arnie he can't select you.
That's it.
Done. Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, I'd say those...
Because the problem you have as a manager is that you want to keep the relationship. So your hands are tied. The board or the technical director or the team need to kind of back you here. And even though our chief correspondent is saying, Liverpool back the manager, let's see it then.
Yeah. Right, if you want to hear Liverpool's crucial next Champions League game against Inter, it's live on talkSPORT on Tuesday evening. But keep those calls coming in.
By the way.
Yeah. I want to hear from Liverpool fans because
team they are, Inter Milan.
The Liverpool fans are always honest with us.
Yeah.
And they wear their heart on their sleeves. I want to hear from them. 03717223344. Where's JP? Get your main pennant on. I want to know what he thinks of those quotes. We'll hear from you next on the Final Word phone in here on talkSPORT.
after football. For a lot of players, it means going into punditry. Some turn to coaching or working in the game in other ways. But what about the rest? Some former footballers turn their sights away from the game, and there are a few big surprises. First up, from rainbow flicks to pancake flips. Ex-Chelsea and Southampton defender Ken Monku switched up his footballing career to buy a Dutch pancake house. He bought out the shop, which had been his favourite pancake spot as a child, and before long he was mixing the batter and getting behind the stove. Next, Everton legend Thomas Gravesen swapped out the high stakes of the Premier League for those of the poker room. He made over 150 appearances for the Toffees and won the Scottish Premier League with Celtic. Turned out the Danish international was pretty darn good at poker. He racked up a reported £100 million from his Las Vegas adventures. Remember former Chelsea goalkeeper Petr Cech? Turns out football nets weren't the only goals he was pretty handy in front of. After retirement, he became a goaltender in ice hockey. Same skills, very different surface. And he even won a Division 2 title with Guildford Phoenix. For ex-Liverpool centre-back Daniel Agger, it wasn't just fancy footwork that was in his blood. He was also pretty good with his hands. The Denmark international turned to tattoo artistry after he hung up his boots. He'd qualified as a skin artist while at Anfield, and he then became the co-owner of his own tattoo company as well. It's not all glamour for ex-pros, though. 1966 World Cup winner Ray Wilson set up a very different kind of business. He became an undertaker after he retired. Finally, not many people can say they've won both a World Cup and starred in an Oscar-winning film. In fact, there's only one person in the entire world who can say that. Frank Leboeuf, the former Chelsea defender, was part of the 1998 France squad who won the World Cup. He ended up marking Brazil's Ronaldo in the final and helped his side to a 3-0 win. But Leboeuf had already begun acting on the side while he was playing football, and his biggest role came some years after his retirement when he landed the part of a doctor in the Stephen Hawking biopic The Theory of Everything.
I embrace the career of acting, so I want to learn more. So seeing lots of movies is a part of my job.
To be honest, with all the dramatic diving in the game these days, there's probably tons of ex-pros who've got the acting skills to make it in Hollywood.
Good evening and welcome to the Final Word phone-in with me, the Grammy-nominated artist, Majestic, alongside Manager of the Year and former Crystal Palace and West Ham manager Alan Pardew. I don't write the scripts, I just read them. And the end of explosive weekend with Mo Salah claiming to be thrown under the bus at Anfield and Crystal Palace going into the top 4 shows about you and your views. So the number to call us, you know it by now, but I'm going to say it nice and slow. 03717 22 3344. If you're watching, the phone lines are on the screen now. But that's 03717 223344. Phone lines are open right now. Elsewhere, Hearts pulled off a huge win at Celtic, and Boreham Wood beat Newport convincingly to go through. It's just to the second round of the FA Cup, but I'm sure you mean the third round of the FA Cup, Ross. Same thing. It's not the same thing, and the money is not the same thing. So congratulations to Boreham Wood. Remember, talkSPORT is now on your smart TV. Just grab the app on Android TV and Google TV. We're even on Prime Video. So come and watch us in our brilliant new studio where my producer Ross gets the cup ties wrong. 03717 223344. It's Sunday night. He's allowed it. This is where you can speak to Imagine Pards on the Final Word. Right, it is the Final Word phone-in. Let's start speaking to some Liverpool fans because we have so many on standby wanting to have their say on Mo Salah. Let's go straight to Martin, who joins us. Good evening, Martin.
Hi, good evening.
How are you feeling about those comments? When they broke, what was your initial reaction?
I was very disappointed. I thought it was very unprofessional from Mo Salah. To me, he's a club legend. Love him to bits. But he's got this run completely wrong. Alan's probably old enough to remember this, but back in the day, if he was saying something like that, and Bill Shankly found out, he'd be doing the backstroke in the River Mersey. No, I'm sorry, but it's just totally out of order. And what he needs to do tomorrow, and I've been hearing what Danny Murphy said last night, he should have done this behind closed doors, between four walls. And what he needs to do tomorrow is to say the two big words: "I'm sorry." I'm sorry, because
I'm off.
Yeah. Well, he needs to say sorry to Slot, and in some ways to Liverpool Football Club and its fans. It's totally way out of order and unprofessional.
Do you know what, Martin? And me and Pards have been very vocal about this. It's a difficult season for Liverpool at the moment. We've mentioned Diego Jota a few times, God rest his soul, and his brother Andre. This is a time where the leaders and those big names at Liverpool need to be as more united than ever.
Yeah, and let me tell you, that whole dressing room will be watching this unfold and waiting for Mo to come into that training ground tomorrow, because although there might be a few messages on their phones to each other, they haven't actually been together probably since it's all broke in such a media firestorm. So actually the first time they're all going to sort of see each other again and look each other in the eyes tomorrow and Monday. And you'd like to think the captain's going to say, look, you're going to have to go and see the gaffer, or, they're going to have to be some words spoken. But Martin's right about the standards that Bill Shankly and the great managers they've had in the past, Bob Paisley, etc., Gary Dalglish, have all set there. And the traditions of Liverpool Football Club, this is, it's just a sort of bastion of football, isn't it? And how to behave and to represent the local community, etc., And these words are just not in place with that. And I think Martin's spot on.
Yeah, I want things to work out for him. I honestly thought to myself, that I thought it'd probably get played in the Inter Milan game on Tuesday, because I'm trying to go into the mind of Slot. Maybe he wants to rotate his players. He's seeing that Salah, he's not performing to his potential, and then he's giving him a rest. And maybe on Tuesday he'd give him, he'd get back into the team and give him a run out. And I think he just needed to be patient. And I do think that Liverpool can turn this around. I think they can. I think that maybe in January they might bring in, one or two defenders, because I think, they've been they let in another set piece again last night. So they, need to get that right in their defence. But no, I think eventually they'll turn it around. But for me, I think Salah just needs to do the best thing now. And, if he says he's sorry, and that, I think we can put this to bed and try and move on.
We can put it down to emotion and emotion only. Martin, brilliant call. Let's go over to William as a Liverpool fan. Evening, William.
Hi, gents. We're all
right. Are you feeling disappointed with those comments?
I mean, my initial reaction was a word I can't say on radio.
Please don't. We'll have to dump it.
Yeah. No, I can see both sides of it, if I'm being honest. Obviously, we weren't great when Salah was starting week in, week out. And then obviously he got dropped for the West Ham game and we won the game. So that might have sort of triggered something in Slot's mind. But then he came on against Sunderland. I thought he did all right. He wasn't great, but no one really was. So I don't know whether Slot's trying to sort of experiment with stuff as Salah's going to go away for AFCON, or whether... But we're not playing well even without him. So it's clear that Salah's not the problem.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with you on that. I don't think and I don't think Slot has actually taken him out of the team and suddenly going to assume that they're going to start winning games comfortably. Do you know what I mean? He knows there's more problems than that.
Yeah, I don't think he was that bad when he came on at Sunderland either. I mean, he wasn't amazing, but he wasn't awful. So, but if you look at the balance of our squad, if you remember the best team we had under Klopp, when we had Fabinho, Henderson, Wijnaldum. It was a pressing midfield. It was a pressing midfield. They went for it. The team we've got now, it's a team you build on FIFA. There's no
It's a great analogy, to be fair. It looks great on paper, doesn't it? But there's no sense of it.
We signed all these names and it was like, we're going to win it all. We're going to win it all. But you could tell even after the Bournemouth game, it wasn't right. Carragher called it out on Sky. You could tell it wasn't right. There was something not quite there.
Even the other day, William, I see one of the lads from Filthy Fellas, the podcast, said about Isaac. Said the one person that Liverpool should have signed with Isaac was Jacob Murphy because he provided so much for him.
That winger, yeah. I said that, didn't I? There's different types of crosses.
Yes, Slot said it, that's right. Yeah. But before Slot even said it, one of the lads from Filthy Fellas said they should have got Murphy.
Yeah. I mean,
But what... Yeah, sorry, go on.
No, I think the point I'm going to make is that when I used to see Klopp's team, it was very much you knew what was coming, and it was a bit helter-skelter, but they were going to press you, and the whole team knew they were out to press. There was like a formula to it. You could break it at times and open the game up a little bit. With Slot's team, there is no real press. So in actual fact, you can keep possession and you can work Liverpool a little bit. And I think that's not characteristic for this team. I think a lot of them are feeling a little bit uncomfortable with that.
Yeah.
And I think the intensity at the training ground's gone down. And I think
you said that a few times.
Yeah, and I think this is compounding the problem.
But what I've got to say is as well, if you look at where I do sympathise and where I do actually agree with Mohamed Salah, and to also an extent Federico Chiesa as well, what do they have to do to start games when they see Cody Gakpo starting week in, week out? Yeah. Gakpo has been poor for weeks. Like, why is he starting every week?
Because he's from the Netherlands.
We've got Wirtz, Isak, Salah, Ekitike, Chiesa. They're the rotation options, and Gakpo's the guaranteed starter. I don't get it. Like,
brilliant call. Thank you very much, William. Brilliant call, William. 03717 223344. Liverpool fans disappointed with Mo Salah's comments. William there can understand some of the frustration, but I think we can all agree that the professionalism of Mo Salah here is what's in question, Pards, rather than the comments. We can agree with him or disagree. I just think there are some conversations, especially at a time where Liverpool needs to be more united than ever, excuse the pun, that they should be talking about these things behind closed doors. Give us a call, 03717 223344, on a Sunday evening where Crystal Palace, who always beat Liverpool lately, go into the top four after a win at Craven Cottage, and West Ham, your former club, in the bottom three as they can only get a point at Brighton with a late goal for Brighton. It's been a great weekend of Premier League action. We'll be talking about some of Saturday's games as well. And, of course, Par's favourite other sport, the F1. A great day for the Brits as well.
Lando, come on,
he's
man.
Ready to talk about it. 03717 223344. It's Mad, it's Par's Sunday night. the Final Word phone here on talkSPORT with me, Majestic, and League Manager of the Year, Alan Pardew. The last Englishman to win that. Is that correct?
That's correct. And I'm just seeing my old buddy, Mark Hughes, on the sideline here at Blackpool Carlisle. Having a proper row with the other manager.
As it stands, Blackpool 4, Carlisle 1. Here we go. Could be another one. Almost 5 for Blackpool. Mark Hughes and Blackpool manager Ian Evatt having a bit of a spat on the sideline there. Old Hughesy taking it old school.
The old days, eh?
It is Sunday evening, and Imagine Pards are here to take your calls and discuss all of the weekend's actions as well as the fallout from the comments from Mo Salah. So let's get straight back to the phone lines because my Liverpool friends are calling in their hundreds and they want their say here on the Final Word. So let's go to Julian, who's a Liverpool fan. Evening, Julian.
Good evening to you both. Very nice to talk to you for the first time. How are you doing?
You're very, very welcome. And Julian, I want your thoughts, your feelings. Just express us what it feels like when you hear those comments from Mo Salah.
It's a bit like the other guy said. He couldn't really say it on the phone. I've been a Liverpool fan for almost 50 years. And I know I would say this because it is my club, but there's always something been special about Liverpool, about the spirit of this club. And I think it's just absolutely disgusting what Mo Salah has done. And I think I'm really glad to hear Alan Pardew say he should be disciplined. I think that's absolutely right. He, as a senior player there, he should be helping this team through this difficult period.
Yeah.
And he has basically said he's bigger than the club. That's what that statement says. I don't need to fight for my place. I've earned my right. It's absolutely ludicrous. And it's so sad that we're in this age of
entitlement,
the player and his ego, and he's bigger than Liverpool club. He isn't bigger than Liverpool. It isn't all his fault, our form. Of course it's not. He's been left out for 2 or 3 games. He's got form, 2 or 3 years ago, he had a spat on the sideline with Klopp, if you remember.
Yeah, I remember.
When he was being subbed at that point, and Klopp dealt with that brilliantly, just completely diluted it. So he doesn't like not being the big man, but especially in a year when Diogo Jota has died and what that's done to everybody, Diogo Jota would not want this.
No.
This is not the example you need to set to the young players and to the club. Keep your mouth shut, go to the boss, go to the board, have your conversations internally, do it professionally, and sort it out that way. You don't do it in the mix zone. I'm sorry. It's absolutely disgraceful. I think he's tarnished his record for me at the club now.
Julian, is there any way back for him?
I don't think so, no. I think the only way back he would be to say, he'd have to come out and say, I've got this completely wrong. I've thought about it. I'm here for the club. I'm not bigger than the club. I don't think he's going to do that. I think Mo Salah is all about Mo Salah. And Alan will know this better than me as a manager. I think, to be a striker with that type of record, you've got to have an ego. You've probably got to have a big ego and quite a sort of narcissistic temperament. If he wants to score, he wants to be the big man, the main man, and that's part of his strengths.
Yeah.
But this is the flip side of this. This is the flip. Now we're seeing the flip side where, I'm sorry, Mo Salah, it is not all about you. Have some respect. Diogo Jota's died. Let's have some grace and some behaviour and some proper leadership, not throwing my toys out the plan because you've been subbed for 3 games.
Can I jump in there, Pards, before you have your say? Because I think what Julian said there is really important, and I must stress the importance of the dressing room and the way the lads are dealing with losing their friend. And obviously, as myself as an ambassador for Calm, a men's mental health charity. Is there a level of this which is just pure emotion from Mo Salah rather than logic? And like he's frustrated, he's grieving, he's going through pain. Where they found joy and solace in their team together, now that's falling apart. Do you think this might have been just him having a moment?
Well, I think it's more than a moment because I think in a way it's premeditated the way he's done it. I agree with Julian and most of the things he said there. I want to give an example of how this could have been handled. I had a player at Newcastle who wasn't playing at the time, like Remy, and he wanted to be in the team. And he was on the bench, he was frustrated, etc., etc. And his agent called me and said, can I come in to meet you with Loic and talk this through, why he's not getting the opportunities? And they both come in to see me. And were quite forceful in that didn't think it was giving him enough opportunity, not giving him the opportunity or chance to expose his ability. Let's put it that way. And we handled it. And so there's different ways of handling it through your agent, through your team, etc., etc. The one thing you mustn't do is after a game when your emotions are high anyway, He's frustrated he hasn't come on, etc. They've got a late equaliser, and it's a disappointing result for Liverpool. Then to go into the fan zone and express all of that frustration. And I'm glad Julian agrees with me. If they don't discipline him here, then I think they've got problems coming down the line.
Brilliant call, Julian. Thank you very much. So we still want to hear from you and your views on Mo Salah's explosive comments. Of course, we're not going to let that get in the way of bigging up Crystal Palace, who went fourth today.
Or Spurs, your team, or a few others who've got good results on Saturday. Some great results. Great football at the weekend, you know.
Or Fulham supporters, I'm seeing some fans on social media saying they are not happy with Marco Silva. Come and let us know if you agree.
Get into the relegation zone, actually.
There's calls coming in, 03717 223344. It's Mad, it's Pards, it's Sunday night, it's talkSPORT. Good evening. It is the final word phone in here on talkSPORT with me, Majestic, alongside experienced Premier League manager Alan Pardew on the record-breaking final word. Every Sunday from 6:30, we're here to digest the weekend's sporting activities. Still to come.
And also the home of jungle music on occasion.
Oh, do you know what?
Go on.
So last week, of course, we were talking about jungle music, and I told you about Original Bad Boy, didn't I?
Yeah.
Original Nutter, sorry. No. That artist.
Yeah, that sticks in my mind.
Yeah. The artist who sings that, UK Apache, was so excited that you didn't know about the record, and is like, the fact that a new listener was found.
Oh, really?
He was so excited by it.
Oh, that's nice.
I know, he loved it. So he said thank you for shining a light on his amazing record with Shy FX from, I think it was like 90s.
What's his name again?
UK Apache.
UK Apache.
Legend.
Brother. You're my brother. My new brother.
UK Apache, and he's culturally a figure of the UK scene that's so important. That record there stands the test of time.
And can I ask, without embarrassing him, his age? What would he be now?
I don't know.
30s?
Musicians, we're like...
we keep it... It's like Madonna. You just don't quite know.
You just that never age.
It's an entity, okay.
It's like, the producer of that record as well, Shy FX. Wow. What an incredible producer he is.
Shy FX.
Shy FX. From my areas, North London.
Can we cut a tune with him or not? Do a Christmas song?
With him?
Yeah.
I don't know if we do a Christmas song. He's a bit,
okay.
Big wicked DJ as well.
Okay.
Big up Shy FX every single time. Right, before we get back to your calls, following a 2-1 home loss to Crystal Palace, Fulham boss Marco Silva spoke after the game and gave his assessment of that loss.
Oh.
I really believe that we deserve more from the game. It's been our story this season so far in many games, but football is like that. You have to be always on there, and in moments to punish, you should punish, and of course looking for the game. We were the team that did more to win the game. We scored a great goal from ourselves. Difficult to see when you see the way that it was disallowed. Probably was the nail of Shuko that was too big. Probably is what it is. Sometimes it's a nail that put a player on side. Other times it's a nail that puts a player offside. For us, it's being more the nail that put players on offside, and is being tough for us. But is what it is. But I think even from that moment was a difficult moment for us. We expected to be leading the score, and finally Palace will come to the game and has to take more risks. Was not the case.
That was Fulham boss Marco Silva there speaking after his side's 2-1 defeat at home to Crystal Palace. Let's go straight to the phone lines because I've got Matt, who's a Fulham fan here. Good evening, Matt.
Hello, boys. You okay?
Yes, very well indeed. Listen, contrasted weekends. Of course, last week you embarrassed my team, Spurs, and then this weekend you're at home. You know, you've got a few away games on the go. So you're thinking, listen, it's a nice Sunday at Craven Cottage. Get ahead. What happened?
I mean, I'll be honest, Palace have our number usually at home. Glasner against Silver at Craven Cottage is usually Glasner all day in the bag. So when they went, I think, 1-0 up in 20 minutes, I literally thought it's predictable. It's going to be another standard 2-3-0 loss. But then when Wilson scored, you know, I'm thinking, okay, we're in the game. It's a bit of a different script here. But I don't know if Pards has got anything to say on this. But when the game's in the balance, and second half especially, we're miles on top. It appears to me that Silva has got some unbeknown loyalty to make maximum substitutions and totally disbalance the game. And it's been, obviously he's got a lot of credit in the bank. He's taken us up as champions. He's established us back in the Premier League. Everyone loves the guy, but everyone around me, old, young, is baffled looking at Raul limping around the pitch from 70 minutes. He's got a young lad, Kusi Asari on the bench from Bayern Munich. So he's not a clown. He's great. Obviously he's a good prospect. 18 years old, gets some legs on the game. We're on top. And instead, he starts bringing on. He takes off Chukwueze, who's been arguably the best player in the last 2 or 3 games. He takes off Wilson, who can always seem to produce a goal for
Fulham.
a
moment, yeah.
And I don't know where his head's at. And obviously, he's not signed a new deal, and that's obviously playing on people's minds as well. And it appears to me as well with the substitution of Burge for Lukic. Burge didn't put a foot wrong, and you bring on Lukic, who's a like-for-like player. It's not impacting the game, and everyone's sort of stood there going, well, Raul's the only player that needs to go off right now. We need to try something different. And we let Palace, I know the corner is the corner, whatever, it's going to happen, but we let Palace back into that game when we were on top, and it's baffling. It's honestly baffling to me. I don't know what Silva's doing. Maybe a managerial head in Pards can shed some light on it, but I don't understand it.
Well, listen, I hear where you're coming from, Matt. Sometimes as a manager, you know, you're making them calls on the sideline, you're seeing something that, you know, maybe is not there, you know, and you're missing the obvious. And sometimes that can happen. It's happened to me. Taking Burge off, I agree with you. I don't understand that. And actually, obviously, at set plays, you've got a 6'3" central midfield player there to defend it. So, that's another issue.
Yeah, 100%.
I actually thought the Smith Rowe, the Iwobi hitting the post and then coming out to Smith Rowe, I thought that was a perfectly good goal. Obviously, it's a hand or a slight arm, so I can imagine Silva's really livid over that decision. But obviously...
Okay, yeah, I've not seen that back yet.
Yeah, it's really tight. I mean, really tight. But I thought it was a good game. I thought Smith Rowe had one of his better games. You would know as well as I do, Matt. He's not always performed, but he was better today.
Yeah, 100%. But he's hauled him off. He's taken him off as well.
Yeah, when he's playing one of his better games. Yeah. No, listen.
It baffles me.
I understand your frustration. I think the thing that frustrates me a little bit with Silva is, does he? I'd like to see him show a little bit more loyalty and love towards Fulham. I always sense that he's sort of, he's there for a period. That's how it seems to me with him.
Well, he's changed his agent, hasn't he? He's got George Mendes now, and it seems like every sniff of a job, he's sniffing around there, and it's not great. I mean, we've had Andreas Pereira most recently doing that with his agent, and he was every sniff of a move he wanted to go. We don't need it with the manager. I mean, obviously, everyone would love him to stay, commit his future to the club.
Sure.
But if he's not going to do that, how long does it linger on? And then is he just trying to keep his squad happy until the inevitable happens and he runs out his contract? Because if that's the case, the board have got some difficult decisions to make because... you can't just keep running on and letting, the substitutions like for like, Burge for Luke. We all saw all you needed to do was give... Raul was limping. He was barely walking.
I could see that.
75 minutes.
You could see it from a mile off. I don't understand why he didn't take him off.
He could barely walk.
He literally was hobbling around, wasn't he?
And Chukwueze is a striker who's played there for Inter Milan. You could literally put Chukwueze as a striker and you could still bring on Kevin and do what you need to do. But he's left Raul out there and it's not Raul's fault, but obviously the fans get on his back and that's not fair on him.
No.
But, you got this JK. I don't know. Obviously Silva didn't really, reading between the lines, didn't really want to sign him, but he's still a Bayern Munich talent. Could you not give him a chance? I don't understand how you trust him against Man City, a Champions League defence, and then a Conference League defence. You won't bring him on to have a run at Guy and other people like that. I don't understand where the logic is there. Is it because we were 5-1 down and he thought the game's gone, or 5-2, whatever it is, I'll just chuck him on against City, but when it's a game that matters, he doesn't trust him? I mean, that can't feel good for the young lad either.
Brilliant, cool. Thank you very much, Matt, who... not impressed with some of Marco Silva's decisions. Listen,
Matt had plenty to say. He was going to go on there.
I know. Unfortunately. Because you know why? Because I've got Glasner.
Oh.
And after a win at Craven Cottage, Crystal Palace boss Oliver Glasner was full of praise for Mark Gay.
I can just speak in best about Mark because he's a fantastic person and he's a fantastic player. So that's why he plays and shows what he's doing. On the other side, for me, it's that we now have to admire people who just do on the other side what they have to do. He had a contract here. I had no doubts, no concerns because I was always speaking with Mark last season, in the off season, in the pre-season, and then yes. He was a little bit disappointed, but again, sometimes you have also disappointments in your life, and then it's how you... But nobody did something, nobody promised him once that he can leave, nobody promised him that this will happen, and then it was at the end just a decision, and he always said, okay, I will give my best for Crystal Palace. That's how I got him known when I arrived, and that's what I really appreciate. And then again, if you are a fantastic person and a fantastic player, then you perform like he does. And then I think it's the opposite. I think if you behave like he behaved, you get the reward.
That's Oliver Glasner reflecting on his sides too on victory at Craven Cottage and singing and heaping praise on his captain, Mark Gahey. And of course, if he went to Liverpool in that summer transfer window, maybe Liverpool wouldn't be in the situation they are now, but they are. And last night, Mo Salah came out with some scathing comments. I think the word scathing,
Yeah, I mean, that was a major loss in terms of Liverpool because, as you know, I rate him. Obviously, he's headlined again today by scoring the winner, but, he's been outstanding for a long period of time. And I just really, really hope that he starts in that England team because what Glasner was saying to him is everything that he carries is not just his playing ability and his leadership. It's that as a person, what he's representing. And that's what you want in the England team. They're the type of characters that you want and that fans can get behind and believe in and love. So he's fit and well, and I can't wait to see him in the summer for England.
Let's go over to the phone lines on 03717 223344. Nasser, the Liverpool fan, joins us. How are we, mate?
I'm good.
How are you feeling
By the way,
about?
your show's improved with that music you put on.
What's that, mate?
The show's improved with that music that you put on.
Thank you, sir. What do you make of Salah's comments? Was you as hurt as all the other Liverpool fans?
Do you know what? It's just outrageous what he's done. It's absolutely outrageous. It's understandable from an emotional perspective, but you can't have players coming out like that. Because imagine from a changing room perspective, how does that make, if he's saying I'm not here to be a substitute sort of thing, then how does that make Chiesa feel, or Isak, or Ekitike, or Gatpo, who do serve 3 or 4 matches at a time without playing as substitutes? Well, how does that make Endo feel? So does it cause a ruckus in the dressing room for starters? It's just outrageous, and some of those players must be looking at him and thinking, "Who do you think you are? You begin the club, are you better than all of us?" Because Chiesa, for all of his lack of playing, every time he's come on, he's done something for the club, for the team.
Yeah,
compared to Salah.
I always think, Nasser, players can do some outrageous things. I think about Cantona when he jumped in the stand, really Crystal Palace, when he did the Kung Fu kick, right?
Absolutely.
Now, fans will forgive that. It's a moment of madness, etc., etc. But when it's like this kind of thing, I don't think fans... I think he's lost a lot of respect, not just from the Liverpool fans, but also in the dressing room as well, and in the coaching staff, and in particular the manager. He's lost a bit of respect. And I think, why put yourself in that position when you've been such an outstanding talent? Don't you agree, Nasser?
Yeah. It's not just that alone. If you think of it from our perspective, we've seen him do things outrageous on the pitch, absolutely brilliant stuff on the pitch. We've been supporting him. But this season, it's the fans more than anybody else that's been calling for him to be dropped.
Yeah.
It's those fans that are saying,
I've heard a lot of Liverpool fans on here calling for him to be dropped.
I've called in Rory's show and said, he's not on form, he's off form. How do we replace him? What's the manager going to do to, do this? How is he going to fix the Salah issue when he's not on form? How do we fix that? Frimpong's not around. There's many other players on the team that aren't playing well. Kirkes, Canate, Gatpo. There's a lot of people that are missing. McAllister. There's a lot of players that are missing. And he's just part of the problem. So the Slot's got many, many issues to solve in that team, and he's not helping it. He's like, I'm above being subbed off and I'm not playing. And listen to this, he's only been off for 1 week from the team.
Yeah.
And look at the reaction.
I know, it's crazy, isn't it? Thank you very much. Nasser, great call. A Liverpool fan there, also upset with Mo Salah's comments. Pards, when the seagulls follow the trawler, it is because they think sardines will be thrown into the sea. That's what
one of the great football quotes of all time.
Amazing, wasn't
right
it?
Up there with Bill Shankly and Brian Clough, that one.
That, of course, was Eric Cantona in his press conference after the incident Pards talked about at Selhurst Park, wasn't it?
Yeah, was that Selhurst Park? Yeah. But when players really sort of, people say, "Oh, it depends where you stand." Sometimes, but a lot of senior supporters would say, "Oh, let the club down by getting sent off, etc., etc." Or David Beckham when he flicks his leg up against Argentina and gets sent off. All the furore around that. But this is different. When you come out and more or less say, like, I'm above the rest of the group. I should be treated in a different way. That's just
near good.
That's just no good.
Near good. 03717 223344 is the number to call us. It's Sunday night. It's Madge and Pards, talkSPORT. talkSPORT has teamed up with Pitch Experiences to bring you an all-out VIP experience at the PDC World Darts Championship at Alexandra Palace on the 23rd of December. Ever been to the darts, Pards?
No, I've never been to the darts.
Good fun.
Yeah, and the boys run it well, don't they? It's all good.
They're really good.
Yeah.
You and 3 mates could be living it large with platinum seats, fine dining, a complimentary bar.
Where's this being held?
Ali Pali.
Oh, Ali Pali. That's the home of darts, isn't it?
And exclusive access to the 501 Lounge with Russ the Voice Bray. Then it's just straight to your prime table for the best view in the house as the darts drama unfolds.
Come on, Luke Littler.
For your chance to win
champion.
text the word darts to 83338. That number is 83338. Text costs £2 plus your standard network rate. Or call 0343 42 17508. That's 0343 42 17508. Lines close 4 p.m. on the 18th of December. Then you need to answer your phone if it rings. Well,
yeah, that's what you meant to do.
Yeah, if your phone rings, you answer it.
Yeah. You got to say a specific words though. You got to say like darts, something. Darts 180 or something.
In one. 18 plus and UK residents only. This is a network promotion for TCs on our website. Now, let's talk about your man. Before we get back to the calls, time to doff our cap. Can you hear it?
This can only be about our new world champion.
Let's put that bed up a little bit. Give it a little bit more. Let's have a little bit
more on that. A little bit more volume. I mean, you got to understand that British motorsport leads the world, Madge. You know, all the teams. I'm talking even Ferrari. They have English specialists in there. The analysts, the backroom staff, the mechanics, logistics, etc. British motorsport rules the world, but we always need a young driver to come through all the karting, come through all the stages to become the Formula One world champion. We've done it time and time again. Memorial, everything. Lewis, everybody that come before. Jason Button, probably our last, I think. Because I think Lewis was before Jason Button, and then Lewis won it again and again and again. And now,
Jensen,
we have a new world champion, Madge.
Yep.
Lando Norris.
Congratulations to Lando
and his family and friends.
They must be
absolutely brilliant.
Very, very proud. Very proud.
And the rich tapestry of British motorsport continues.
Oh, can we keep the theme tune up, please? Because I've got another person I want to doff my cap to. Let's keep that up. Seeing that we're on the British Pride thing today.
Yeah. It's not an English thing. It's a British thing.
Yeah. There we go.
There we go. It's back on.
We've got to doff our cap to one of our Knights of the Realm, Sir David Beckham.
Who also won again today or last night.
I see the picture of him with the trophy. He had Victoria and the kids all around him. I cannot tell you how much I love David Beckham. I adore David Beckham. Do you know why?
Are you talking about Sir David Beckham?
Sir David Beckham. Sorry, exactly.
Because that was another honour that he got this year.
Sir David Beckham. That man, right? From what happened in...
Carrying the flag for us around the United States.
But what he went through after the 98 World Cup, I'll never forget that moment at Old Trafford against Greece where we were useless.
Yeah.
Useless, yeah? He was literally the only player playing, scored the free kick. Listen, as a young English fan, that guy gave me so many off my seats, jumping up, going crazy moments. So I'll never forget it. And you know what? The genius of the man from business, when he joined the MLS, to what was in his contract about buying a franchise one day, to then winning the MLS Cup. Wow. Sir David Beckham.
And backing his wife, by the way, in a fashion world that is notoriously torturous, where losses were immense. And now suddenly that's turning the corner. Victoria Beckham's outlet, by the way. Starting to turn into profit. Anyway, I agree and back that. Lionel Messi winning again. The MLS... Fantastic.
Absolutely brilliant.
Well done to them.
And as I said...
So that's into Miami.
Wow. Pink shirts galore.
And we got a game there in the World Cup, haven't we? Miami, I noticed. I think, is it England who are in there?
Ooh.
Or is it Scotland?
Scotland there.
Scotland.
Yeah,
someone's playing in Miami. I thought, well, that's a good game to go to.
But yeah, well done to Lando. Well done to Sir David as well, as we've instilled British pride in sport as we're not going to get.
I wouldn't have Inter Miami winning the MLS quite where Lando is.
Of course.
Let's put it in perspective. But Lando, come on, man, doff the major cap.
Yeah, but we got a British man just running America.
Well done to David.
Well done, boys.
Sir David.
Let's go over to a Fulham fan who was at Craven Cottage earlier. Dan joins us. How are we, Dan?
How are you, boys? All right?
Yeah, disappointed with that one.
Oh, disappointed. The Fulham fan earlier, mate, he's thinking glory. Marco Silva, honestly, he's hung us out there, and honestly, he's got two games to save his job. We've got Burnley away and Forest at home. If you don't get 4 points at least,
yeah, two big games, aren't they?
Two big games, mate. And honestly, we was in control of that game when he's made the substitutions. The goal, I haven't seen the goal, Smith Rowe's goal, but from what I'm hearing, it's very, very tight.
It was tight.
It's about as tight as you can get, actually.
Yeah. But if we go on 2-1, then them substitutions would have made sense. But I don't know what Iwobi's got on him, because Iwobi, he wasn't having this great game. He should have come off the pitch. And Smith Rowe was having his best game he's had in a Fulham shirt today.
We said this.
We
said this when we was watching it.
I don't get it. Chukwueze was one of our best players as well. He's dragged him off. Lukic has had one of the worst performances I've ever seen him play against Man City in the week. Berger's doing nothing wrong. He don't look like he's fatigued. And like the bloke said earlier, Jimenez up top, he needed to be changed. The guy's 35 years old. You can't expect him to play 90 minutes in a week. So we've got this kid on the bench. I don't care what he does in training or whatever, but at least he will make a difference. He'll make some runs. That is one of the worst managing performances I've ever seen from Silva and from any manager.
Well, I hate to compound the issue, Dan, right? But I don't know if you've seen the league table tonight, but you'll be, because of the congestion of the league, you're right in it. I mean, Leeds are 11 points. You're one win off Leeds. Or they're one win off you.
It all went against us this weekend. And to do that, what we've done tonight, honestly, it's really, really put us amongst it. So, like I say, he's got two games. I'm going for some silly reason. I'm going to Newcastle next Wednesday in the Cup. I don't know why I'm doing that this time. My missus is not having it one bit. She's not having it.
And that is the hope that kills us as fans, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's it. The hope that kills us, of course. But if we get through that and get into a semi-final, then we're having a good season. But league-wise, he's got two games to save himself, I think, because honestly, we can't go into a transfer window with Silva, who's not prepared to sign a contract that's on the table. The contract's on the table, so he either signs it or he don't. I can't go into January with him.
There's no point. There's no point otherwise.
But you can't. I'd rather Roy Hodgson come in just to the end of the season. That's what I would rather. He's been there the last few games. He's been there in the Riverside. Him and Ray Lewton, I'd love him to take us to the end of the season, and then we build after that. But we cannot go into January without him signing that contract, or we can't trust him, because after that performance, that was diabolical today. God, what time is it?
you wish it was yesterday, trying to get out of his mind. Pardew is on the TV while brilliant, cool. Thank you very much, Dan. I'm watching Pardew giving the old finger on the TV. The silver screen star he is. Listen, you heard it there. That's a talkSPORT exclusive. Dan, the Fulham fan, wants Roy Hodgson back in the dugout at Craven Cottage.
Well, the point being that Marco Silva has been offered a contract. It's been well, documented that the offer is there on the table. It must be a decent offer. Otherwise, Silva would have said, no, I don't want to do it. So where's the answer? Yes or no? What are you going to do?
No, it's no from the gallery, Alexander.
Yeah, show some loyalty and some faith to the club that have actually, you have to remember it's not his money. The money has been, given to him to spend on all these players and that have success, and all the attributes that come with that, and all the success that comes with that is from the investment from the club. Now pay it back and sign a new contract. If not, move on.
Absolutely. Thank you very much indeed, Dan. 03 717 223344 on this Sunday evening, where we doffing our cap to Lando Norris. Sir David Beckham, anyone else you want to doff your cap to?
No, I'm sticking straight with Lando tonight.
Lando's night.
It's Lando's night. I mean, you cannot imagine how brave you have to be and how much kind of resilience to be a world champion in F1.
On an evening of success for Lando Norris, we salute you from Alan Pardew and Majestic. from the talkSPORT towers as he becomes the F1.
From the karting world, from all the levels of motorsport in Britain. We absolutely rule the world. I'm going to say it one more time. The tapestry. That is the British Automobile Association.
Indeed. And the number to call us is 0371722 3344 for Imagine Pards on a Sunday night of celebration. Thank you.
Thank you.
How did it all come crashing down for Wales so suddenly? In his first tenure in charge, Warren Gatland built a dynasty, taking young guns and turning them into giants, not just for Wales, but for the Lions as well. 4 Six Nations titles, 3 of them Grand Slams, and in 2019, a world #1 ranking. But then, a record drop-off, golden generation all but gone, a first wooden spoon for 21 years, and 14 losses on the bounce. Why? Perhaps the main reason was poor spending. During Gatland's first tenure, the WRU committed its funds to world-leading training facilities for the national side, but underinvested in the club scene. Despite Ireland raking in similar overall revenues, its union would be committing up to £30 million a year more than Wales to their provincial clubs. In 2023, a report found the WRU had flitted away an £84 million TV deal on the purchase of a Cardiff hotel and a zip wire above the Principality. At the same time, the regional budgets and salary caps were being slashed, and they're still being cut. Add this to a distinct lack of player pathways when compared to the private school-fueled setups in Ireland, Scotland and England, the continuous rise of football's popularity and generational talents going elsewhere. It all meant when Abby Tierney became CEO, having never worked in sport before, she had a mountain to climb. And yet the beauty of sport, of course, is it isn't played in the boardroom, and sometimes it takes surprisingly little for the narrative to shift almost overnight. When Gatland left for the second time, interim coach Matt Sherratt only had 3 training sessions before Wales' next game, but the team looked unrecognisable, and all he did was pick players in the right positions and provide a bit of attacking structure. Suddenly, Wales were back pushing Ireland to the wire. As Gatland's first tenure taught us, for Wales' success to be sustainable, once the books are balanced, the regions need more money, salary caps need boosting, player pathways need investment. But it doesn't have to mean Wales lose every game in the meantime.
Welcome to the Final Word phone in here on talkSPORT. For me, Majestic, alongside the former Newcastle boss and Fulham fan, Alan Pardew. And right now, we're the only place on national radio taking your calls. So keep them coming in on 03717 3344. Soon we'll be discussing all of Saturday's games as managers face their former teams. But now it's time to cheer up Laura, the Liverpool fan, and Jill for their favourite part of the show. It's the greatest quiz on radio. The mystery footballer song. It's simple to play. All you need to do is tell us what famous footballer is linked to these 3 songs. Remember, it can be the clubs he's played for, a nickname, or even a famous act he carried out. So, my selector inside, DJ out.
My selector.
DJ Irons. let's drop the rhythm. Bob Sinclair, World Hold On. Nothing's gonna do the best. Joe Esposito, you're the best around. And then now, Horan from One Direction, Slow Hands. Bob Sinclair, World Hold On, you're the best around, and Slow Hands from now. So, let's dissect this. Bob Sinclair, because of a connection to the World Cup. You're the best around. And then Slow Hands now, is it because of where Niall's from, maybe?
Where is he from?
Or Hands, maybe it could be the Hands, Slow Hands. Okay. So they're your 3 songs. If you think you know the answer to the Mystery Footballer quiz, from those clues, text us 81089 or WhatsApp us for free on 03717 22 3344. I was with Bob Sinclair last night.
Really?
Yeah, at the Electric Brixton.
Which is a club, isn't it?
Oh, it's like a venue.
What do you mean it's a venue? Where's a club then?
Well, it's a venue because it's like a concert venue.
Right, oh, I see.
Like,
okay.
you know, like Brixton Academy.
Okay, yeah.
Rather than a nightclub, so you have all sorts of shows on there.
Yeah, okay, like bands.
Bands, etc., yeah.
DJ sets or...
DJ set like last night.
Yeah.
So I was warming up for the great man himself.
And good?
Really good.
Full house?
Really good, yeah. Which was nice.
Yeah, okay. And what time does that end?
6.
Sorry?
6 in the morning.
You're kidding me.
Nope. Bob came on at 2.
Well, so all the clubs are in there till 6 in the morning?
Well, not everyone. The hardcore ones.
Right. Okay.
I DJ'd 12 till 2.
So what's the peak of the gig?
3 o'clock.
3 o'clock.
Yeah. Yeah. I played 12 till 2. Warmed up. Do you know what I love about DJing? Right. And you know, sometimes I'll play somewhere. I'm the headliner, so I'm the main event.
Yeah.
But I like when I get into that one where I'm warming up. It's like being put into centre midfield and the gaffer says...
a prawn cocktail. You just...
prawn cocktail. No, but the gaffer's like, you know, look, hold the ball, nothing fancy. I just want you to
Oh, okay, yeah.
Lay it
I
off.
gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just do it simple. Keep it simple.
Keep it simple.
Yeah. Don't try and steal the thunder.
Exactly. Bob Sinclair's the number 10.
Yeah,
You get the ball to Bob.
Yeah, let him do the old, lifting it over someone's head and volleying in the top corner.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed it. So it's good fun.
Well, it's nice that you can play that role, and that's like not egoistical. Like Mo Salah's been the weekend.
That's exactly
You're
it.
playing for the team.
I'm playing for the team. So much so, I actually messaged Bob before the gig saying, is there any records you don't want me to play and kind of what tempo do you want me to play at?
Oh,
And
that's
it's like,
cool.
So professional, Mudge.
That's what.
So professional.
Yeah, I like that.
Right. Now, talking of the World Cup, time for our review of Friday's FIFA World Cup 2026 draw, brought to you by the Mercedes-Benz Sprinter van.
talkSPORT's FIFA World Cup 2026 draw review, brought to you by the Mercedes-Benz Sprinter van. Score a great offer to your Sprinter 906 right now. Get a fixed price for the Mercedes-Benz Service B. Terms and conditions apply.
So on Friday afternoon, live from Washington, D.C., we heard the World Cup draw for 2026. It was great because I put my radio on Friday and I heard Durham. I was like, oh, it's nice hearing Adrian on drive.
Nice friendly voice.
It is. And then I heard Pards. I was like, Pards is there as well.
Yeah.
And then I heard Stuart Pearce as well. I was like, this is a good lineup. And who else was on the show as well?
Stu, I can't remember his name now. Charlie. Yeah. Big Charlie, centre back.
Yeah.
From Scotland.
Yeah, I know. So it was a really good show.
Nice boy, actually. And he'll be. Told me, a Scottish friend, that he's already booked a restaurant. He's booked a whole restaurant. They're good like that.
Yeah.
They move early. They move early, the Tartan Army.
So we have got groups A to L. So first and foremost, we're looking at that 12 groups.
You're not going to go through it because Friday night it was a little bit of, there was a little bit like, oh,
we're not. So what me and Pards have done,
suffering,
ironically, is we've picked out some of the best of the bunch. Now, producer Ross is going to love some of the ties that we've picked here for our World Cup ones to watch. So Pards, you give me one first. We're going to go one for one.
Well, I'm going to actually offer this to talkSPORT. I want to do co-commentaries on some of these games, right?
Yeah.
In the.
Are you ready, producer Ross? Because I want producer Ross to hear some of these games.
Yeah. So I'm going to start. I'm going to start with this, which I think will be a classic, which is Canada versus Qatar.
Well, yeah, I thought Canada-Qatar would be one of the highlights of the World Cup. I actually thought Haiti against Scotland was going to be would be almost El Clasico-like.
Well, I can imagine that would be interesting. I mean, not as good as this. The great Austrians, of course, against Jordan.
That's a big one. I didn't even see that one.
Yeah,
I was too busy looking at the Dutch-owned island of, how do you even say it? Is Curacao? Curacao, thank you. Curacao against Ecuador.
Oh. Can you imagine? That'd be two in and throwing. You won't. That'd be an open game.
Oh, baby.
There'd be no low block in that, mate. Don't worry about that. I've also got New Zealand versus Iran.
I had that down.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
big one.
Yeah.
It's a big one.
It's an easy one, that, isn't it? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Then, you know what? One that I know producer Ross wants tickets for is Uzbekistan against Colombia.
Yeah. No, I had them down, but I had them down against the winner of playoff one.
Yes.
Which enthralls me, what that would be.
It could be huge.
Yeah. Because what you got to remember about this World Cup match, right, is because I go back to World Cups 1970, right? That's as far back as I go. I don't go back to 66, I go back to 70. Some of the group games are dire, particularly for that third place when you got second and third place can still qualify.
Yeah.
Then you got games where people don't want to win, right? So some of these games, we got 74 group games. I can't imagine how some of that is going to be watchable. I just can't see it.
But I can, because we have got some amazing games, like England, Croatia.
This is where we turn the story up.
Yeah, but, France, Senegal.
This is where Ross can now start, his pressure, his blood pressure.
I'll tell you what, I'll never forget it. 2002, France, Senegal. I was at school, and I remember we had the headphones in, listening to the commentary and stuff at school. France losing 1-0, didn't they? They lost to Senegal in the opening game.
Cameroon.
Yeah, what's that, back in the 90s?
Oof.
Yeah. So
where they nearly beat us.
Germany against Ivory Coast, that'd be a good one as well. Listen, there's a lot of football to be played. Let's talk about...
I mean, we're looking forward to it. I mean, we're making a joke of it, but we're looking forward to it. It'll be an amazing competition. I mean, it is a little bit elongated, as the draw was, unfortunately. And Mr. Trump, of course, who won the Peace Prize.
I got a Peace Prize.
Yeah.
They said that I'm probably the most peaceful man that they've ever met, Very peaceful. I got to say that it was the greatest draw ever because I was there.
Yeah. And also, much deserved award, I thought, for your work, particularly in Israel, etc., etc.
Well, we won't talk too much about that. Let's talk about Rio Ferdinand, because I thought Rio was fantastic at the draw. He was just a spokesman, the man of the people, self-confessed.
Yes.
He's self-confessed man of the people. And
he kept mentioning man. I don't know who man was. He kept saying, all right, man. Who was man? Is that...
Well, himself, man of the people.
I see.
I thought he was great, and you know what? He made a great point. He said, I've had a word with everyone backstage. We won't call it soccer anymore. It's football. And he's very right, because the NFL is not actually football. Soccer is the football, and football is not the soccer.
Well, if it comes from the President of the United States, then we have to listen, don't we?
Well, it's going to be a great World Cup, Paul. Do you know why?
You're going to present the...
I'm going to be there. It's going to be so great. I can't wait to watch Haiti and Scotland, because my mother, of course, was from Scotland.
Yes.
Did you know that?
I did know that.
You knew that.
That's why you bought the golf courses.
Exactly. She was a very, very wonderful person.
I'd like to play those golf courses at some point.
Well, if you keep giving me prizes for peace, you can come.
Okay.
It'd be very good. But, listen, the World Cup draw, of course, those draws often go on. Kevin Hart there? You having Kevin Hart at the World Cup draw?
I don't think he was... Listen, I could accept Rio and, and Trump, etc., and the backslapping and etc., but why was he there, Kevin Hart? What? I don't understand that. And he wasn't even funny, really, was he? I mean, he's a funny guy. You find him funny?
Ask Cat Williams if he finds Kevin Hart funny. That's all I'm saying there. But listen, some of the big games that we're going to talk about, of course. Listen, as you said, we're having a bit of a laugh with some of the names in there, because it is expanded. But you're looking at games like Spain-Uruguay in the group. That'd be a good game. Brazil-Scotland, if you remember, in the 98 World Cup. Well, Charlie mentioned it on the show. Brazil, Morocco, and Scotland were all in the same group in 98, weren't they?
That's right.
When that got drawn out, I clocked it straight away. I was like, wow. It was crazy that's
I
happened.
didn't clock it at all. I did. Only Charlie was...
Because Brazil-Scotland was the opening game of World Cup 98 in France, which was... and again, like you said, the Tartan Army being there is going to be massive.
I hope the England games are not as painful as the Euros. I mean... let's hope that we play with some fluidity and and some excitement, and because actually the footballing world, I'm not sure they look upon England as a great footballing nation at times. It's not like we go to these tournaments and play unbelievable football like the Dutch of '74 or Brazil of '70 or France of 2000 and what was that? 12 or something, I can't remember.
Yeah.
But we've never really kind of ripped up a tournament, have we? I can't remember.
I think the biggest rip-up of a tournament that we've had was probably Euro 96. And that's because we beat the Netherlands, a very good Netherlands team, 4-1. Is there a group of death here? Normally we look at a group and go, there's a group of death. Personally, I
think the French one is the one. The French, Senegal and Norway.
Yeah.
And the winner of playoff 2, whoever that may be. Looks like the one that looks challenging. You would have to say that the top 2 teams in seedings in the groups should all make it. I don't really see too many upsets at that stage. But the knockout stage, of course, is longer as well. So, there's an extra knockout stage, and some of those games will be magnificent. And that's when the competition will really start.
So for England fans, we've got Croatia, Ghana and Panama. Dallas, Boston, and New Jersey. There's some good destinations.
Yeah, very good, yeah.
And the good thing, obviously, with the Boston and New Jersey one is quite close.
Yeah.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, because there was fears that, if you was going out there to support your nation, you was going to have to, do some mileage. And, getting on a plane in America is very much like getting on a bus. They consider 4 hours in a plane, just round the corner.
I know.
A couple of blocks.
Yeah, I'm definitely not having 4 hours on a plane. On one of those planes around the corner. It's not. It's long. Scotland, they're going to be in Boston for 2 games, and then Miami. Listen, Scotland against Brazil in Miami. The Tartan Army landing on Miami Beach. That's going to be crazy. I can see it now.
that is a sporting event that I would like to attend.
You can hear them now singing. Yes,
Rod will be there, won't he? Rod.
I can boogie. You can see it now. They'll be in the kilts on the beach. Be quite William Wallace.
You know, and you wouldn't put it past Scotland beating Brazil. I mean, Brazil are not like Brazil of old, and we know them. I mean, it's not like they're unknown either. They all play in the Premier League, like 9 of them. So we do know they are, and Scotland are no mystery to Steve Clarke and his group. Every chance.
It's been a while. In fact, it's been, what's it going to be by the time it comes out? 8 years since we've had a Summer World Cup.
Okay,
and,
of course, yeah.
Yeah, 2018, going back to that moment Eric Dyer scores against Colombia to win the penalty shootout. Yeah. I was in Ibiza watching it at a bar there, went crazy. Brilliant. the summer, when the World Cup's on.
Yeah, it's different.
It's brilliant, isn't it? And you know what? Being back in the USA, I go back to 94 when England weren't there. I was gutted that England weren't there. Luckily for me, the Republic of Ireland was there and Ray Houghton was there.
Cool, Razor. In
New York. To do that brilliant.
I coached Razor at Reading. What a great fella.
But yeah, apart from Diana Ross's missed penalty, then the goal still broke open.
Yeah.
That was a World Cup I looked at. I was like, I wish we were there.
Yeah.
We're there. It's gonna be exciting. talkSPORT are gonna be there. It's gonna be. I'm so excited for the World Cup in America. I'm just praying.
And you know what? The one thing about the Americans is the panic, everything else that goes on around the game. They're brilliant at, and they bring something new. They always do.
There's a lot of show.
There's a lot of show, and but they do it well. So it'll be interesting to see how the halftime shows go.
Well, there's a
few of them.
Can you imagine the opening ceremony?
Yeah,
I'll be there. It's going to be so great. It'll be probably the best ceremony you've ever seen. A lot of people said that. A lot of people have said it, Parts.
Okay. I look forward to it.
Parts. That was the review of the FIFA World Cup 2026 draw, brought to you by Mercedes-Benz Sprinter Van, celebrating 30 years of opening doors for businesses for the latest fixed price service offer. Search Sprinter Service B now.
talkSPORT's FIFA World Cup 2026 draw review, brought to you by the Mercedes-Benz Sprinter Van. Score a great offer to your Sprinter 906 right now. Get a fixed price for the Mercedes-Benz Service B. Terms and conditions apply.
And also, don't forget to download the greatest podcast. It's a new podcast, but it's the greatest. How to Win the World Cup with comedian Matt Ford. He's very funny.
Matt Ford, very
funny guy. Coming up next, we're going to be looking back on Saturday's games as Aston Villa blew the title race wide open. It's the final word on talkSPORT. The mystery footballer quiz. The 3 songs. Bob Sinclair, World Hold On. You're the Best Around, Joe Esposito. And Slow Hands by Niall Horan. Producer Ross. Pards doesn't know who it is.
That's a clue.
Any clues for us to give away? If you're going to think World Cups, think 1986. 1986 World Cup.
Okay. Slow. Oh, okay. I know it is.
The Best Around, Slow Hands, World Hold On.
Okay. I think I know
On the world stage.
Yeah.
Okay. If you think you know the answer, 0371722 3344. So we've already had a look back at the World Cup. Now it's time to look at another huge game from Saturday with a table-topping encounter at Villa Park as Aston Villa scored a dramatic winner in added time to beat Arsenal to blow the title race wide open. It finished Aston Villa 2, Arsenal 1. Aston Villa are now 3 points behind Arsenal, and they've won 5 out of the last 6 Premier League games. Arsenal have dropped 7 points from their last 6 games. It's Basel against Aston Villa in the Europa League on talkSPORT this Thursday evening. Let's talk about that game there. What a win for Villa at the end there. And what a goal.
Yeah, well, let's put some things in perspective there. What was really interesting as well is that early kickoff as well. So all the teams that were playing at 3 o'clock, and we had a lot of games on Saturday at 3 o'clock, it was a real kind of like wow moment because, you know, it looked like Arsenal were going to walk away with the league. And if they'd got a result at Villa or even taken the draw, you'd have just gone, oh, okay, this is good. You know, it would have been a bit of a dampener in the dressing room before the games. But of course, Villa won, last minute goal, 95th minute, whatever it was, bundles in, and suddenly the league now looks open. It doesn't look like a one-horse race, and clubs are closer and et cetera, et cetera. So it was a massive boost for everybody, I think. And I was doing commentary on Saturday, even I was like, wow, okay, game on, here we go. Will Arsenal actually walk away with it, or is it going to be really competitive towards the end?
Well, I hope so for the league.
And Manchester City responded, didn't they, in the right fashion? Absolutely, great result for them.
How good's Phil Foden been lately?
Yeah, he's picked himself up, and thank goodness for that, because he looked like he was in a real kind of trough, didn't he?
Yeah.
Of form where he couldn't seem to break out of it. But yesterday, brilliant, and back to his best.
Arsenal got some tricky fixtures coming up as well in the Premier League. They go away to Everton on the 20th of December, even though Everton's home form's not been great. You never know which Everton turn up, though. They host Brighton. Brighton are good. And then they host a reverse of that fixture against Villa. So, yeah, lots of games to be played. Arsenal still look very strong, though. You know, there's no doubt in that whatsoever.
Yeah, they're still favourites. I don't think no one will have moved from that position. But it definitely looks like, they could get reeled in. You talked about it last week, actually, when you was talking about their form against the top teams, and I poo-pooed it a little bit and said, well, at least they ain't getting beat. They draw in these games, and, you're saying, oh, they ain't beat the top teams, and then, of course, they play Villa and get beat. Mm-hmm. So that just reinforced that issue. When they come up against the really good teams, are they getting a little bit nervous or a bit jittery around it and find themselves on the end of a bad result?
I thought Villa were worthy winners as well.
Well, I would say the second half, when Arsenal really picked it up, I thought Arsenal were going to blow them away. And then
they did pick it up.
Yeah, and then Villa got the pendulum to swing again, didn't they?
They got the momentum.
Favour. Yeah, and that's what's brilliant about those games, when the pendulum is moving from one to the other. There's not one team dictating and one counter-attacking. It's like someone's dominating for a period and then another team are dominating, and that was a great, great game. Great advert for the Premier League, actually.
Let's talk about Man City, because they've won 5 out of their last 6 games.
Yep.
Mate, the Rabona assist from Cherki for the third goal was dangerous. Even Phil Foden was like just pointing at him to the fans. What? Did you see the cross?
Yeah, I mean, I don't get too excited about that sort of thing, but I know
you do it in your sleep.
Well, I don't do it in my sleep, but it's like
Pars with another Rabona cross.
He could have just done it with his left foot, but it's okay. It's just a bit of showmanship. I don't know if he would have done it if it was 1-1 or 0-0, but at 2-0 up, it was a sort of thing that might happen. But a great performance, and he looks a great player, by the way, Chergi, doesn't he? And Man City, you just know that when Rodri comes back, that consistency might come back to them as well. And if it does, then they're going to run Arsenal very, very close.
Horrible tackle late in the game from Sunderland's Luke Denian. He's going to miss the Tyne Weir derby, which we were talking about off there.
Yeah.
Going to be a big loss.
Yeah, he will. But Sunderland's fans and the stadium, I've actually obviously managed there with a Newcastle team. I've taken my team there. Oh, wow. You cannot believe, like, the hairs on your back, on the back of your neck are like standing upright. It's like a really emotive game. And of course, the belief at Sunderland with their team, the fans and the team are one, like England were about 4 or 5 years ago. Do you remember that period when they're right behind the team?
Yeah.
And that's going to be a tricky fixture for Eddie Howe. A really tricky fixture.
Okay, so
2 o'clock next Sunday, that one.
In terms of the title race, yeah? We're looking at it now. You've got Arsenal on 33 points, Man City on 31, Villa on 30, Crystal Palace on 26. Are Palace in the title race?
Well, guess who Palace play next Sunday at 2 o'clock? Manchester City.
Oh.
Now, that is a real test, and normally, you would say that Manchester City are red-hot favourites for that, but I would say that's a pretty even game, bearing in mind Manchester City's inconsistency and Crystal Palace's form and the result they've had today.
But look at, looking from 9th to 12th, Liverpool, Tottenham, Newcastle, Man United, all 22 points.
I know.
Liverpool 23. Man United, of course, to play Wolves on Monday night, so they've got a game in hand. This league is the tightest ever. This is the tightest, this one.
Yeah. And more and more the investment that is going into the Premier League clubs in that middle and lower section is being well spent. Whereas before it's been, I don't know, I wouldn't say wasted, but, made some poor decisions, and, the standards of scouting and recruitment wasn't at the level it's at now. Now there's very, with the huge amount of statistics and background checks you can get on players, it's hard to actually make an error. You just got to hope that when they come, that they settle quickly and then they break into the team. And there's when I talk about that, you'll know that when Gittins, who come to the fore yesterday for you, but actually has been fairly quiet, in this initial period. So, but every team has match winners in it in the Premier League, whereas in the past that's not always been the case. You had teams that really sort of based themselves on set plays and quite static and didn't really have a great moment in the team. But now every Premier League team carries that threat.
I'll tell you who wished that there was all that data back in the day. Graham Souness. Because when he got the call for Ali Dia, he would have known that he'd never play for PSG. Only wasn't George Weah's cousin.
George Weah's cousin, yeah, that classic story.
It wouldn't happen now with all these
Definitely
statistics.
not.
03717 22 344 is Imagine Pards is the final word. Here's the final word phone in here on talkSPORT with me, Majestic, and former.
Is that house or that's not jungle? Is it?
Yeah, it's house tune. It's my new single.
I just said it's house. I don't know.
My new single. You like it?
That's your new single.
New single.
I like that.
Came out on Friday. It's called "Do You Want Me." Out now. All stores.
I didn't get a cameo in that. Like I couldn't do a line like Phil Daniels did in.
Line. Do you want me? Could have worked. Yeah, so that's out now everywhere. If you want to go stream it, buy it, etc.
Is this an EP?
No, this is a straight single.
Straight single.
Straight single. Getting a lot of love on TikTok at the moment, which is always good. Right, coming up soon, we'll reveal who the mystery footballer is, and we're looking ahead to a huge weekend of European football on talkSPORT. Let's now turn our attention to some of the weekend's other games as managers face their former teams, and Pards had a trip to the seaside on the south coast. Let's start with that game as Bournemouth drew 0-0 with Chelsea. Chelsea have only picked up 2 points from their last 3 games in the last week. What's Chelsea's main issue, Pards, that you've seen?
Well, I think obviously the centre forward position is becoming a little bit of a cross to bear for them. Delap got injured and actually was very physical the whole game. Got injured. Unfortunately, looks like he dislocated his shoulder to me.
Ouch, that's horrible.
Yeah, he looked in a lot of pain. So I hope a swift recovery for him.
That one makes you feel sick when you do it.
Yeah. And then Pedro come on, didn't really impress. So there's a little bit going on there. In the wide areas, they're great. There's no doubt about that. The central midfield, there's nothing wrong with that. That's all functioning. At the back, wow, with Sanchez in goal, the passing, the chances they're taking really worries me, particularly when they come up against better sides. He puts centre halves in terrible positions. He drops possession on them when they're under pressure and doesn't seem to see the whole picture at times. So that worries me. And there's a real lack of kind of drive. The team that I watched at Barcelona, that was not the team that I see yesterday at Bournemouth. That's a worry because you want that consistency.
Yeah, they are quite inconsistent. To quote Jamie O'Hara on the game day phone-in, Chelsea's title race was made of lettuce. It's surely, are we writing them off then from the title race? They've got enough in that squad. This is a bad week.
I don't think they got the
X factor.
Yeah, and I also think there's a problem for the manager in that he's got such choice that I'm not exactly sure whether his hand is being forced at times to make changes in that team where, players are on his case about playing. He's got so many agents and so many technical directors. I'm sure he's in a constant mist of information of what team to put out. There's some players that definitely... you look at that team, James, etc., Casido, the pick themselves, Fernandez. There's certain players that... But
good team.
There is definitely positions that are not now down that are like, who's going to play and therefore there's indecision. And I think that indecision comes in the team. Very rare to get a 0-0, no score draw. And both goalkeepers, the saves they made were like goalkeepers. When you think goalkeepers should save that.
Yeah.
That was the saves they were making. There was no outstanding save. There wasn't an outstanding moment. They nearly score. I think they hit the post from ahead of Chelsea, and that was about it.
We're going to talk about Spurs at a moment's time, but someone I want to talk about because as a Spurs fan, I'm a big fan, and I'm looking at him. It's Semenyo. So you watched him,
yes,
and obviously. When you watch him play, when I'm watching Spurs and I've seen him play against us, when I watched the games against Liverpool, I thought he was tremendous. What was Semenyo like yesterday? And, if you were scouting him, what kind of report would you want to see for him?
Well, yesterday I looked at his stats, and his stats from last year, I wouldn't say they've really deteriorated. And it looks like, maybe he's been found out. Maybe there's... some interest party. What we do know is that there's a clause that if you invest about £65 million, you're going to get him.
Yeah.
Okay. So if a hedge fund said to me yesterday, okay, the stats look great from last year, can you go and check him out for us? Right. What makes him make the difference for, say, Spurs or Manchester City or Liverpool, etc., right? And these are the things I would say about him. Firstly, his speed from a standing start. He's so powerful.
Yeah.
He literally can leave a defender for dead and get a shot off. His left foot has such power. So on that basis alone, when he gets possession, he is a menace and a threat, and he's a powerful threat. Also, because he's so good in the air, you can actually kick goal kicks to him, which Bournemouth were doing yesterday, and then he wins a diagonal header into your striker.
Bournemouth did that against Spurs.
Yeah, it's a good tactic. It's a great offensive action to have. He also marks at set plays. So you've got a wide player here who's 6 foot, built, very strong, powerful boy who can mark a centre half. That is very, very rare. So these are like pluses to this player. This is not just player who's getting stats, getting goals. Take all that aside. These are like personality traits.
A rounded game.
Correct. His defensive positioning, right, where sometimes you can never get that in a stats book, right, where he should be when the opposition have the ball. I'm talking about when the ball's on the other side of the pitch or when the ball's in central areas. He's spot on. He's always in the right place. He's never drifted. He's never too high. He's always in the right place. And when he has to defend, he's powerful in that area as well. So that side of it, perfect. And you know what? Above all of that and all his stats and everything else, he has a long throw. And in the modern game, what a bonus that is. So if a hedge fund's come to me and said, we want to invest £65 million, Mr. Pardew, could you give us some advice? I would say that is definitely worth £65 million.
You heard it, Spurs board, because yesterday Spurs got a rare win at home. Good to be back to winning ways against Thomas Frank's former club. A huge win for him against his former team. They didn't look at it at all, Brentford. Keith Andrews changed his entire team on Wednesday against Arsenal, and the fans were not happy.
Yeah, I know. He's a young manager, and I think he made an error this week because there were local games as well. It wasn't like
maybe he thought the Arsenal game's not happening. We might get something from Spurs, and that's why he did.
Well, he did. And there's no doubt about that. And, he's got that all wrong. And when you lose that game, it really compounds you. I got that thrown at me when I was at Newcastle. I put a weakened team out. Not a weakened team, but a kind of team that was under pressure to play, really, in a cup game. They got beat. And then we got beat on the Saturday. So I got accused, both angles. But, there was no reason for Brentford to do that this week, in my opinion. And I think that's an error. And they'll look back on that and probably agree. But what I was really impressed with yesterday, third man run from Gittins down the side.
Simmons,
for the first goal, where the fullback of Brentford goes tight with a wide player. So that number 10, instead of standing in the pocket, run into that channel. I don't see enough of that in the game.
Yeah.
There was times Palmer could have done that for Chelsea and he didn't do it. He did it yesterday, got a reward, crossed it, Richarlison scores, and you got yourself in front, and then from there on you looked okay, didn't you?
Yeah, well, Xavi Simmons, of course, his goal, where he picks up in his own half, he loses the ball, wins it back in a really aggressive tackle.
Really aggressive tackle.
Gets on his run, confident, and a great finish as well. And you know what? He needed that. He really needed that. He come at a highest price tag, big reputation. He looked like a weight was lifted off of him. He was superb yesterday. And he did show us that, I've said this, there's a player in there. There's 100% a player in there.
Let's just look back a little bit, right? Because he played number 10, right?
Yeah.
So if you say, okay, right, here we go. We have a nice option now who goes beyond the back four of the opposition from that position. And then you've got Maddison, right, coming back, who's technically great at that position. So now that's starting to look a bit better, that number 10 position. Kudos, I heard, was terrific.
Yeah, he always is. Apart from the only one thing I'd criticise him for is we're 2-0 up, 75 minutes on the clock. He's trying to flick it over someone's head. Like, he's already done it, and he's flicked it over someone's head. They've won a throw. They've nearly scored from it. Van der Ven and Romero went crazy.
Yeah.
And he was like, shush, and they went nuts. And I was like, I loved it. What I saw is the two of them, Romero and Van der Ven, were united in it. Like, he celebrated
what tackle he made Romero, by the way.
Yeah.
That spirit, that Argentinian spirit that he has.
Spurs have got Slavia Prague.
Anyway, I want to come back because then I'm going to say kudos on the right. You got the number 10 with them two, Simmons and Maddison, lovely. The striker.
I like Mwani. He looks good. Richarlison scored, to be fair to him.
Yeah. And also we got our man coming back, Solanke. The left side, Semenyo's position.
That's the one.
No. Who plays there? Who's your best?
Odeber's there.
You don't look thrilled.
Nah. Okay. Not for me. Okay. Spurs take on Slavia Prague in the Champions League live on talkSPORT 2 on Tuesday evening, and returning on that game will be Heung-min Son. He's the half-time guest.
Ah, that would be nice.
First time back since
And the whole South Korean community will come to the game.
Well, let's hope so. They've been sorely missed.
Yeah, I bet they have. They're great fans, aren't they?
Right, big ticket sellers. Still to come before we hand the baton over to the brilliant Transeur Express, we will reveal who our mystery footballer is, and we doff our cap at the 40th anniversary of a classic game show. That's next on The Final Word on talkSPORT. Bob Sinclair. World Hold On. Into this, You're the Best Around from Joe Esposito. And then Slow Hands from Niall Horan was the three songs in our mystery footballer quiz. Pards, did you get it?
I did.
Who was it?
It was the great, well, perhaps the all-time great, the GOAT, maybe, depending on your opinion, Maradona.
That's right, the first person who got it right was Phil in Herefordshire. He was the first person to get it right. And lovely Laura, the Liverpool fan, got it right as well. Yeah.
Slow hands give it away. The little hands thing, the 98.
Hands of God. It was, it shouldn't be called that though, because that sounds like it was a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great quote from him after the game to get away with that.
It was for Argentina, you're right. Right. So, you know you like the mystery football quiz. I know how much you love it.
Yeah.
It is obviously in sort of homage to some of the great quiz shows that we saw on the TV of yesteryear.
Yeah.
Do you know what celebrated 40 years since it was first aired?
No.
Blind Date.
Scylla.
Turn it up. I love this theme tune. And
we're not going to do it. We're not going to do a version of it, are we?
Oh,
we're going to go. I ain't going to go on a date with someone, am I?
No, but there's a lot of football on talkSPORT this week. And here's our Graham with a quick reminder. That's right, Monday, the 8th of December, Wolves take on Manchester United at Molineux. It's a talkSPORT exclusive. What about contestant Tuesday? Tuesday, the 9th of December, is a European affair. Do you like European days out? Then why not have Bayern Munich against Sporting Lisbon on talkSPORT 2 at 5:45? Or at 8 o'clock, Inter Milan take on Liverpool in the talkSPORT on talkSPORT. And then Tottenham Hotspur take on Slavia Prague on talkSPORT 2 in the Champions League. Or you might contestant Wednesday, with Leverkusen taking on Newcastle in the Champions League, presented by Adrian Durham, commentary from Jim Proudfoot, and former Newcastle manager Alan Pardew.
Yes.
And
Come on, the Geordies.
Or contestant Club Brugge against Arsenal, which will be on talkSPORT 2. And of course, that is your contestants.
Now, I see what you've done there.
You like it?
You've done the voiceover of Blind Date, haven't you, for those games? It was very clever, very good.
Is it contestant number 8?
What was his name? Did he...
Graham.
Oh, okay. Is he famous in the trade world?
No, it's just, here's that Graham with a quick reminder. God bless her.
Zilla. Brilliant.
Surprise, surprise!
And of course, she dated John Majestic, my old employee. What was I was an employee for him. Obviously, he was the owner of Reading Football Club.
I remember being little, like, and doing like impressions when I was a kid. It was surprise, surprise! It's Salah here.
Actually, it's not bad, that. Everyone I know ever met her just said she was absolutely wonderful.
She just do you know what? We were saying this earlier as well, right? When Brucey was doing like Price is Right, good game, right? Yeah. He was like in his 70s. Like, yes. And like Priscilla was obviously not in her 30s or 40s, she was in her 50s, 60s. I miss having that. You know, like that now on TV and stuff. It's like, they're going to be like 22.
Yeah,
like
I know,
social media influencer.
I know.
I want warmth. And Scylla gave you warmth. You know, even that time she went, they had a lovely date in the Canary Islands, but it turns out that Jessica's a reporter. And they baited her up. And she had the guy's back. Yeah. And she's like, why would you lie to us? Like, she was so warm. Bless her.
No, just completely rounded characters who've had the history of life and know everything about it, you know, seen it all before, etc., etc. It's nice to have that experience, isn't it, on the TV?
Yeah, no, but this guy, right, has got loads of followers on the TikTok.
Yeah, and we must have him.
He done a dance last week. He's viral, Pards.
Yes. Like Ginge.
Oh, Angry
People like
Ginge. Yeah. I don't know why I'm kind of telling Boris Johnson, but... Yeah, Angry Ginge.
And I think it on football as well. I mean, I watch a lot of TV shows and obviously a lot of young pundits, etc., ex-players, but they don't really have the experience of managing a team or coaching a team. They talk about...
Bring back the GOATs.
Well, you know, when you go back to the World Cup panel, right, back in the day, that would be like Brian Clough. There'd be senior managers talking about the game, etc., etc. I'm not saying that was better, but it was a little bit.
I'll tell you what I loved as a youngster, and I got the back end of it.
Personality in my.
You know what I got at the back end of as a youngster, right? Of the end of the series, Saints and Greavesy, Saturday afternoon, unbelievable, wasn't it? Brilliant stuff. Listen, speaking of goats, now this is why the talkSPORT Breakfast Show is so good. Because you have got a couple of goats on there. talkSPORT Breakfast returns Monday morning.
Characters.
Jeff Stelling,
who has been around the block.
And Super Ali McCush,
who's been round the block twice.
And then Sam Matterface sits in for Jim White alongside Simon.
He's not been round the block, Sam. He's very naive. Never a naive young man. I like him.
Great presenter. He's going to be alongside Simon Jordan and Arsenal Invincible, the least biased person ever, Martin Keown from 10. But if you want some music in the morning, the brilliant Chris Evans is over on Virgin Radio. Can we see the show out with the Blind Date theme tune, by the way? Because I want to get that going on the world. The final word returns next Sunday, but right now, you can hear from our winner of Blind Date, the brilliant Danny Kelly. as he brings you Trans Euro Express next on talkSPORT. From Imagine Parts,
it's a very good evening.
Good night.